Hey Mario, this is Jonas again. This is my second video about rounding for Unit 6. In the first video, I explained how we round numbers and I explained the rules for decimal places and significant figures. And in this video, I want to give you examples of situations in real life where we have to apply those rules to round the numbers. The first situation that comes to my mind when I think of rounding is when we sit tests and exams. For example, usually the examiner gives us or tells us how many decimal places they need for the answer, and most of the time when we finish calculating our results, extrapolate those decimal places asked by the examiner. So we have to apply those rules and round the results properly to give the examiner the right answer and make them happy. Another situation where we have to round the numbers properly is when we take readings in a leveling run, for example. Usually we use 3 decimal places when we take readings, and to calculate all the readings, to add everything up and find the heights of the marks, we basically have to round numbers and stick with 3 decimal places always, because we don't want to end up with a misclose. So it's very important to know how to round the numbers properly when we do a leveling run. And also when we draw finder diagrams and location diagrams, when we write down distances. For example, I want to draw a diagram and I want to write the distance between a fence and a benchmark. I can write how many meters they are apart. But in this situation, I don't think we need to be extremely precise. I would write down how many meters, maybe centimeters, but I think millimeters, there would be too much information and it's not necessary. So when we draw finder diagrams, we don't need to be very extremely precise. Another situation where we don't need to be precise is when we are driving a car. For example, when we are driving a car and we see like the speed limit. Let's say the speed limit is 100 km. So in New Zealand we use kilometers an hour. I know that I know the speed limit is 100 km, but when I look at my speedometer is not 100% accurate. I have an idea of of my speed, how fast I am driving, but I don't know if I am driving like 102, 103 k, 105. Sometimes I am like just around 100. I don't need too much accuracy. I don't need that amount of precision when I am driving. So this is another situation where we can relax a little bit, and we don't need much precision. We do need precision when we are calculating degrees and we have to convert, for example, a traverse, and we have to convert degrees in decimal places to degrees, minutes, and seconds. And when we convert minutes and seconds, degrees, minutes, and seconds to decimal places, our calculators give us long numbers, like huge numbers, and we have to round those numbers properly to be able to use in our tables, and in activities, in paperwork. We can't write infinite numbers. We have to round them properly. So it's important. It's one more situation where we have to know how to round the number properly. We don't need to be too much precise when we give information to people, like random information of addresses, for example, on the road. So I am walking on the road and someone asks me where the restaurant is, or where the church is, or where the petrol station is. So if I give an information, I would probably not be so precise. I would vaguely mention the distance. You walk 20 meters that direction. I don't have to be 100% precise. I also don't need much precision when we are talking about time. Time, like day to day. For example, when I ask what time it is, I only need hours and minutes. I don't really need seconds. Like, it's too much. So we don't have to be that precise. We can stick with hours and minutes. On the other hand, I know that GPS, Global Positioning System, those satellites that give you your location, they have to be very, very precise regarding time. So hours and minutes are not enough for those satellites. They need to use seconds, and even further than that, they have to be extremely precise to give you the right location. When we convert units, we have to round properly. For example, meters to millimeters, or millimeters to meters. If I have 3,000 millimeters and I want to, like, 3,000 millimeters, 3,540 millimeters, for example, when I want to convert to meters, that would be 3 meters. And I could also round those numbers, so I don't have to write all the numbers all along. Again, I can only round the numbers 3 meters, 5 something. When we are converting numbers, we can round them to make it easy for us to write numbers down. And the last situation that comes to my mind when I think of rounding numbers is when we use scales. When I was doing geotechnical engineering, I remember we had some soil testings to do. And our scales, if I am not mistaken, the scale displayed 3 decimal places, if I am not mistaken. But I don't need 3 decimal places for the report. I only need 2, so we constantly had to round those numbers, round the output from the scale to only 2 decimal places to put in the report and get and find a final answer. So these are the situations where we have to round the numbers properly. In some situations, we can be a little bit more flexible with our roundings. We don't need much accuracy and precision. In some other situations, we do need to be very, very precise. Rounding makes a huge difference when it comes to accuracy and precision. So I hope I am clear enough. I hope you like this video. I am literally having so much fun doing this. I want to have your feedback as well. And that's it. Thank you, Mario. I'll see you next time. Bye.